The Rise of Nationalism in Europe, CBSE Class 10 History, Chapter 1 Notes. Frederick Soryu and his visualization. Nation. A large number of people of mainly common descent, language, history, inhabiting a territory bounded by defined limits and forming a society under one government is called a nation. Frederick Soryu and his visualization. In 1848, Frederick Soryu, a French artist, prepared a series of 4 prints visualizing his dream of a world made up of democratic and social republics, as he called them. The first print shows the people of Europe and America marching in a long train and offering homage to the Statue of Liberty as they pass by it. A female figure carries a torch of enlightenment in one hand and a charter of the rights of men in the other hand. On the earth lies shattered remains of the symbols of absolutist institutions. In Soryu's utopian vision, the people of the world are grouped as distinct nations identified through their flags and national costumes. Leading the procession are USA and Switzerland, followed by France and Germany. Following Germany are Austria, Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary, and Russia. From the heavens above, Christ, saints, and angels gaze at the scene. The artist symbolizes fraternity among the nations of the world. The French Revolution and the idea of nation. Growth of nationalism in France, introduction of various measures and practices created a sense of collective identity amongst the people of France. Change of monarchy and establishment of republic, creation of new assembly. Rise of Napoleon and his reforms. Revolutionaries helped other people of Europe to become nation. The making of nationalism in Europe. Germany, Italy, and Switzerland were divided into kingdom, duchies, and cantons. These divisions were having their autonomous rulers. Uses of different languages. Rise of the middle class. Industrialization in England. The emergence of a working class and liberalism. New conservation after 1815 and preservation of traditional institutions. After the defeat of Napoleon, the European government follows the spirit of conservatism. Conservative regimes were autocratic revolutionaries at that time fought for liberty and freedom. For example, Mazzini's Young Italy and Young Europe. Unification of Italy. Giuseppe Mazzini has played an important role in the unification of Italy. He formed a secret society called Young Italy in Marseilles to spread his goals. He believed Italy could not continue to be a patchwork of small states and had to be forged into a single unified republic. During 1830, Mazzini sought to put together a coherent program for the unitary Italian Republic. As uprisings in 1831 and 1848 had failed, the mantle now fell on Sardinia Piedmont under its ruler Emmanuel II to identify Italy. Under Chief Minister Cavour, Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in destroying the Austrian forces in 1859. Even Garibaldi joined the fray. In 1860, they marched into South Italy and the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies and with the help of the local peasants drove out the Spanish rulers. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed as King of United Italy. In 18th century, Germany was divided into a number of states. Some of these states ceased to exist during the Napoleonic Wars. At the end of the war, there was still 39 independent states in Germany. Prussia was most powerful, dominated by big landlords known as Junkers. Nationalist feelings were widespread among middle class Germans who had tried to unite the different regions of the German Federation into a nation state governed by an elected parliament. In May 1848, a large number of political associations came together to vote for an all German National Assembly. Their representatives met at Frankfurt, and the Frankfurt Assembly proposed the unification of Germany as a constitutional monarchy under the King of Prussia as emperor. The King of Prussia rejected the offer, and the liberal initiative of nation building was repressed by the combined forces of the monarchy, the military, and the Junkers. Then on Prussia under its chief minister Otto von Bismarck led the movement for unification of Germany. Bismarck carried out this process with the help of the Prussian army and bureaucracy. He fought 3 wars over 7 years with Denmark, Austria, and France. Prussia was victorious in all these wars, and the process of unification was completed as a result of Prussia's victory over France. Consequently, on 18 January 1871, an assembly comprising princes of German states, representatives of the army, important Prussian ministers, and Bismarck gathered in the palace of Versailles and proclaimed the Prussian king, Kaiser William, the new German emperor. Marian and Germania were both female allegories used by artists in the 19th century to represent the nation. In France, she was named Marianne, a popular Christian name, which underlined the idea of a people's nation. Her characteristics were drawn from those of liberty and republic, the red cap, the tricolour, the cockade. Statues of Marianne were erected in public squares as a national symbol of unity. Marianne images were marked on coins and stamps. Instead of just having the idea of fatherland, they wanted to implement a suitable image in the minds of the people. They invariably chose the mother figure symbolizing nations Britannia, Germania, and Marianne, reminding us for our concept of matrimony. Germania became the allegory of the German nation. Germania wears a crown of oak leaves as German oak stands for heroism. It was hung from the ceilings of St. Paul's Church, where Frankfurt Parliament was convened to symbolize the liberal revolution. Napoleonic Code. The first major change was doing away with all privileges based on birth, establishing equality before law and securing the right to property. Administrative divisions were simplified. The feudal system was abolished and peasants were freed from serfdom and manorial dues. In towns, guild restrictions were removed. Transport and communication systems were improved. Peasants, artisans, workers, and new businessmen enjoyed a newfound freedom. Businessmen and small scale producers of goods in particular began to realize that uniform laws, standardized weights and measures, and a common national currency would facilitate the movement and exchange of goods and capital from one region to another. Last quarter of 19th century nationalism. became a narrow creed with limited ends. Intolerance Balkan became the sense of big power rivalry nationalism aligned with imperialism caused World War One. The idea of nationalism was now the same everywhere, but the concept of the national state was accepted universally.